The art of screen printing.
Hey everybody, I'm Lon Winters and this is Cory Gray with Graphic Elephants, and this is the art of screen printing. How we doing, Cory?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Hey, this lesson we're going to work on layer effect, a little more advanced separation technique and channels. Cory, can you set us up and take us through?
Be happy to. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. In our last segment, we talked about how we use channels to break down our colors as they pertain to the actual image. In this case, we can see that we had all the actual parts of the GSG logo, but we've added the layers from one of our previous videos. We talked about doing layer effects, but now how do you separate those layer effects? It'll be the same way that we used them before. Going back to our channels, you can see as I jump through these that the values change here and there a little bit based on the composition of the way the colors built in our actual layered art. But if we go to the black channel by itself, you can see that in the original artwork I have these shadowy edges to all three of the wedges. If I go to my black channel, because there's really no black in too much of the other colors except for this area. So if I go to my black channel and I click and I drag it down and make a copy, you can see now what I'm left with is that same black edge along all the wedges here. There's actually a little bit of 1%. I'm going to go ahead and use my white eyedropper tool in the levels palette and knock that out. Because this is going to be an overlay of black, so a black halftone dot is actually going to be laid over these colors to print on top. But I don't want them to be solid because they would actually be too dark. So we want to use a halftone of black to give us that actual shade of each color. And I would usually do something no more than, say, maybe 20% or 25%, no more than 25%. But for our exercise here, I've got these at 20%. And actually, I've made them in I call it the black overlay here. Now, if I go ahead and I turn on all of my channels, you can see now my black overlay is the extra plate. If I toggle back and forth, you can see now that even though this is lighter in look compared to my original art, the black's going to gain on the press, so you'll have to be closer to this. But for this exercise, we want to make sure that we don't have the actual, for your output especially, you don't want to have your halftones be too dark. So you can see again as I toggle back and forth, those will lay over those colors. With the GSG, we have, instead of a black bevel, we have a blue bevel. And this is pretty much the same color as our blue wedge. So I'm going to actually want to have this solid. So if I go up to my cyan channel, you can see that it's kept some of the wedges in there, but it has the area defined of the blue in the GSG. So I'm going to click and drag that back down again, make a copy. We're going to delete the information for the wedges because we don't need them. Now, I said I want to have this solid, so we're going to definitely want to have this use black instead of actual halftone. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my levels, grab the black eyedropper tool, and I'm just going to click on this once and make that solid. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a selection of that, and I'm going to fill it on my blue plate. And at the same time, I'm going to go down to my white plate, and I'm going to completely delete this out of the GSG. There's one shot. Get rid of my excess channels I don't need. Let's go ahead and turn them on one at a time. So there's our blue, our red, our yellow, now our white with the missing blue, and then our black overlay on top of the wedges. And that's pretty much how you would do a beveled edge, depending on what colors you're using for separation.
Outstanding, Cory. That's great. That sets us up for the next lesson that we're going to be going over. We're going to go back to our original superhero emblem, and we're going to put all kinds of layer effects on it, and we'll go through the separations and the whole deal. We'll start that next time. He's Cory and I'm Lon, and we are still Graphic Elephants, and this has been the art of screen printing. See everybody next time.
Adios.